a Big Ten team. Big Ten's been kind of quiet in the portal. Not a whole lot of rock star quarterbacks leaving, not starters, and not a whole lot of spots that they can go to kind of fill. Purdue has one, and they have one because they lost arguably the second or third best quarterback in the Big Ten due to graduation. Purdue signs Longhorn quarterback Hudson Card. Card got down there, battled, played well when he got his opportunities, but he had Quinn Ewers to deal with, and then he's got, the second coming. Archie Manning will be there, here in 2 weeks. And if you want your opportunity to play, we've talked about that. This is what the portal is for. You're going to get snowed under staying down there. It goes up to Purdue. Purdue has made some nice moves, some quiet moves as of late. First, they signed Ryan Walters, defensive coordinator at Illinois. Illinois, for those of you who don't know, they've had 8 or 9 games this season where they've held opponents under 14 points. Ryan Walters takes half of Illinois' staff with him. Now they set themselves up over there at Purdue. And then they pull in Hudson Card. What are your initial thoughts? I'm going to go down to you first, Clint. You're, obviously tracking those guys pretty close down at the Longhorns, just like Trevor. What are your initial thoughts of Hudson Card coming in there and leading the Boilermakers? And you know what brand of football they play. I'd be curious to see if they change that brand, but they've switched head coaches and have still kept that kind of air raid brand. Will Purdue be well positioned to go toe-to-toe with these giants in the Big Ten now?
I'm not ever, again, Purdue's another Arkansas, another Oregon State. I'm not ever going to sit here and go, yeah, they're going to be ready to go toe-to-toe with Michigan and Ohio State or the big boys. Do they have a chance if the stars align for them? Hell yeah. Should they go in there and compete their ass off? And if those teams make mistakes, then have a chance to win ball games, then yeah. I'm not afraid to go out on that limb, if you will. But to me, this is I love the way that you couch the Hudson Card move, because that is exactly what the transfer portal is for. There's no reason to sit down there in Austin, Texas, and get Trevor Valiste, if you know what I mean. I love you said snowed in. I absolutely love that. But there's you bounce out there. By the way, Graham Harrell is the OC out there at Purdue. That's who Walters took with him or picked up.
There it is.
So they're definitely going to be air raid. They're definitely going to spin it around the park. I don't know, how the transition is going to be from Austin to Purdue in terms of systems. I don't know how much crossover Sark has. I know he's not an air raid guy, but everything has some crossover nowadays. So I don't know how that's going to land. But I read an article earlier, guys. Well, let me put it to you this way. I like Hudson Card. I think Hudson Card is a new age pocket passing quarterback. He can make all the throws from the pocket, and he's athletic enough to extend plays. He's not going to win ball games with his legs, but he's athletic enough to make one or two guys miss and extend a play and go make a throw. I like Hudson Card. I think he's got a high side in college football. But when I read an article a little earlier, guys, and it was a defensive-minded head coach in Walters. What's his first name again? Ryan Walters. How the hell did I forget that one? Ryan Walters. And there was a paragraph, guys. I mean, we're talking 5, 6, 7 sentences worth of the head coach, defensive-minded head coach, explaining, like, hey, I ain't your typical defensive-minded head coach. I know he was in quotes too. This wasn't no opinion piece. These were quotes. He said, as a defensive coordinator, I know what I don't like. Teams that'll take chances. Strike vertically, teams that are going to be creative pre-snap and show me different looks and all these, get exotic and creative. He said, I don't want my offense to sit back and be predictable and run oriented. I want them to be aggressive and do the same thing to defensive coordinators that I hate being done to me. That right there meant the world to me. I believe you got an air raid OC, Hudson Card can play the game, and you got a defensive minded head coach that's going to let that thing loose. There's a chance Purdue could not skip a beat with the success they had last year.
Agreed there. I think Hudson Card has all the tools that he needs to have to be successful at a place like Purdue. let's not forget Hudson Card is a Lake Travis Cavalier, same high school as Baker Mayfield and some other big names that have come there in the Austin area. There's so much pressure there, not only to win state titles in high school, but to go right down Highway 71 to Austin. Garrett Gilbert did it, came in for Colt McCoy, didn't work out there, went and had a great career at SMU, and then he played a couple years in the No Fun League. I think this is a similar situation where he had so much pressure to go to Texas. It didn't matter if he fit the system. It didn't matter if he liked it. It was just what he felt like he should do. Now, with Graham Harrell out there, the air raid system that he ran in high school, I think it's a really good fit. And similar to some of these other guys that we've talked about, an opportunity for him to kind of pick up his own pieces, dust off a little of that dirt, the confidence dirt, you know what I'm talking about, and puff his chest back out and go and play in one of the best conferences in college football. I think he's going to be successful in that offense.
Hey, the one thing that I want to encourage folks not to do is to judge Hudson Card based off of what happened the year that him and Casey, I guess it was Casey Thompson, went back and forth, and then this past year was backing up Quinn Ewers. I stood on the sideline and watched that Texas team. That was a shit show. I mean, they played Arkansas in Fayetteville. Arkansas absolutely skull drug them. And I'm sitting there thinking, hell, I'm an Arkansas fan. I ought to be carrying around a bottle of this, you know what I mean? But I'm sitting there going, you got to be kidding me. Like these dudes, they have Bijan Robinson, best quarterback, and this is Texas.
Oh, and
this is what Texas turned into.
That was 50-something 17, wasn't it?
Oh, it was, and it was 4 quarters worth. G. It was, and I'm talking about Hudson Cards back there, and you can forget about getting the snap and dropping back, and hey, my right tackle is struggling. Let me slide up in the pocket. No, he'd slide up, and then somebody's coming from here. Boom, and all of a sudden, it was just one of them. It was just my point is just to be fair. I don't know if Hudson Card is going to be worth a damn. I think he is, but don't watch what happened at Texas and go, that's the same kid. That would be unfair. That was a quarterback's nightmare that I stood on the sideline. And then on top of that, dude's quitting. I mean, it was bad, man.
Our esteemed producer, Trevor Valise, just said that score was 43-21, and Texas didn't score until the fourth quarter.
Come on, man.
And that's how you get ready to come into Jurassic Park. Purdue, Ryan Walters, signed Hudson Card. They got a guy